I love you. Welcome back to the Couch Potatoes. Big old couch.
Big one.
Plop your ass down. Sorry. Butts. Your potato spuds. Your sputs. Park your sputs down. We're here. We're having a grand old time. I am the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
I am the Faceless Leon. This is a podcast about movies and TV. And we call it Green Faceless on the Couch. Which you probably knew that if you clicked on this. But, you know, it could have played randomly. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
But
maybe.
We also do have some supporters of this show that allow us to keep it going. They support us at patreon.com/green and faceless. And you can too, if you would like. And then you could suggest videos for our monthly episode, The Potato Pick, which is what we're doing today.
We are indeed. We had a couple of good suggestions from our lovely patrons, and Delma's suggestion of a Meryl Streep spotlight won out.
That's a good choice.
We will be doing The River Wild versus The Devil Wears Prada, a couple of her earlier films, if you will. She's had such a long career that it's more middle of the road for her, but
I guess Devil Wears Prada was like working on 20 years ago now.
Yeah, early thousands. Well, River Run Wild was only late 90s, right? Mid-90s.
Yeah, these were actually only 10 years apart. 8 years
12
apart.
years.
12?
12 whole years.
Oh, I thought it was 98 for some reason.
94 and 2006.
Anyhow, we were babies.
Emily Blunt was in it? Oh my god, she was... I didn't recognize her as... Wow, okay.
In what?
Emily Blunt. I didn't recognize her as Emily in The Devil Wears Prada. She was the brattiest, like...
Huh.
Wow.
Huh.
God. Who knew? Who knew? She's so young. But no, if you would like to, as the Faceless Leon over there mentioned, if you would like to, head on down to patreon.com/green and faceless, sign up, and maybe next month, there's still a week as of this airing. You have about a week to sign up at Patreon if you want to submit a holiday special potato pick episode if you would like.
Winter
happy holiday pick, specifically.
Yeah. Winter, at least winter. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be, but, you know, that's just a nice suggestion. It's just
sometimes we give prompts,
poke.
Sometimes we don't. And that's totally up to you if you want to follow it. And we'll put it on the ballot. If you suggest it, it will be on the ballot. And the people will vote.
And I swear to God...
Just like they will tomorrow. At certain points of the day if they have not yet.
And I swear to God, if any one of you bastards recommends teeth or anything like that...
Oh my God.
We're having words.
But,
we're having words.
You know, if it does get voted upon, we will watch it. We will watch it because we respect the electoral process.
It's fair, yeah. We don't have an electoral college, though,
no,
because
we don't.
that shit just makes no sense.
It's only by popular vote. Yeah. There's 2 places to vote. Yeah. That's the only thing. There's 2 places to vote.
Yep.
We post it on our YouTube, and then you can find it at patreon.com/green and faceless.
And that YouTube, by the way, we don't have a specific website because we're bad at this, but it's FictionWorks19.
I do, actually. It's YouTube at FictionWorks1917.
Look at that. See, I'm bad at this. He's not.
I also don't have a job right now. So please support us at patreon.com/green and faceless.
And, you know, I want to go ahead and, before we dive into these movies, I want to go ahead and throw it out there in case I seem particularly crabby at moments. I'm trying to quit Diet Coke, okay? Mm-hmm. This is the 80th, maybe 90th time I've tried to quit Diet Coke in my adult life.
Yeah.
That aspartame got me good.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not yet to the point where I'm cold turkey on Diet Coke. You know, I'm still, like, I had a can today, but I had only a single can.
Uh-huh.
That's down from multiple cans a day.
That's pretty good.
So right now I'm drinking a nightly coffee, which is a great idea.
Hey, you know what?
I'm so smart at this.
Caffeine make the funny. That's just what I didn't come up with that phrase. I think some people who listen know.
I think whoever created calculus came up with that phrase.
Oh, you're right. Coffee.
Caffeine make the funny.
Caffeine make the funny. Now
the good old calculus expression.
I'm gonna arithmetic this until I make a new math.
There you go. Arithmetic these nuts.
All right. Anyhow, Meryl Streep is a wonderful actor. No, it doesn't work, and it still made me laugh. No. But Meryl Streep is a wonderful actor. She really should be, though, too, because, she did get her acting education at Yale. And, I mean, if you're going to go to Yale, you might as well get a good education. And, well, I'm going to say it shows, at least, I don't know anything about Yale's drama department, except for that Yale has a lot of money, so I'm sure it's good.
I know it's for the posh kids.
Yes, yeah. But, anyhow, in my undergrad at Indiana University, I took a class that was focused. It was a film study class that was focused on Meryl Streep. And,
love it.
Yeah, her roles.
Did you ever meet her?
No, but she was on campus while we were there, yes. I shook Jonathan Banks' hand when he was there.
Okay, see, you've one-upped me. I say I met Meryl Streep. By that I mean I was 100 rows away from her. In my auditorium seat, watching her receive an honorary degree on stage.
But
I winked at her.
I thought like an honorary degree was like supposed to be for people who've achieved a lot, but have not, necessarily had a lot of education. And like she I was educated on how she was educated.
Yeah, for the most part, honorary degrees are just absolute bullshit to ramp up money for the university.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Anywho, I'm not gonna say that Meryl doesn't deserve the accolades that our university gave her, though, because she deserves the accolades. She's very, very good. She is, I think, the top in her craft, really. I really struggling to come up with somebody.
In all of acting or just in?
As a film female actor, I think she's at the top of her craft.
That's fair. I
think there's people more so in this period, but I honestly haven't seen a movie from her in the last 5 years. And I know she's been in a couple.
Yeah, for the most part, I mean, every time she acts, she gets a fucking Oscar nomination anymore, even if it's not good or not.
Yeah.
That's not to say that she's still not a great actor, because recently she has had some good acting. I'm not going to quote things. But I feel like there's many times where she puts out like a direct to VHS performance, and the Academy is just like, yes! Oh my god, she nailed the role! And it's just like, it's just a fucking cardboard cutout. Like, what are you guys doing? Like,
no. But anyhow,
she is great though, and I'm happy we're having a spotlight. Especially, these are two films from my childhood that I watched.
Sure.
Okay, well, technically Devil Wears Prada, it wasn't my childhood.
Your teenagehood.
It was my teenage-dom. It was when I was a very closeted trans individual, so closeted that not even I knew.
That's how I was gay. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, I knew something was up, but I wasn't going to say anything to anybody about it.
I would alright, so there'd be a guy in class, right? And I'd be like, he looks good today. And I'd be like, wait.
Look at his ass.
Am I gay? Am I gay? No, it can't be.
No,
because the girl sitting next to her is smoking.
Right?
But I just didn't understand exactly what pansexual meant. I thought it meant.
Yeah.
I thought it meant exclusively that you liked transgendered people, but now I just realized that I like everything, and that's what it means. Yeah. Well, I do like transgender.
I've realized that.
And non-binary people.
Yeah, I've realized I have very niche preferences for every single gender and sexuality.
Yeah, it's like a hair trigger.
I can be physically attracted, honestly. But yeah. No, for me, no, not for me. Like for me, it's like I can be physically attracted to somebody, but once they open their mouth, typically that physical attraction just goes away. They just like walk into the credit union and they're just like, "Hey, how are you?" I mean, like once they walk in, I'm just like, "Oh my god, a gift from heaven!" And then they're like, "That weather outside's something else, isn't it?" And I'm like, "Ugh."
Just because they're local.
How about that sports team? They really did a hell of a weekend, huh? And I'm just,
oh boy. Anyhow, my Meryl Streep class came with the textbook. I might still have it.
From the professor?
No,
himself?
I don't think so, actually. It was written, it's a textbook about Meryl Streep, though. Anyhow, let's talk about The River Wild, which was our first...
The River Wild.
The first thing that we were asked to talk about. Well, not necessarily.
Not The River Runs Wild.
Not The River Runs Wild.
Not The Wild River.
Wild. The River Wild is...
River Wild.
I guess they redid it in 2023. It's just called River Wild, though.
Oh my god. It's got even worse. The River Wild is already monstrous enough for my brain. River Wild just sucks. Meryl plays young mom Gail Hartman. Her young boy Rourke, the Joseph Mazzello, otherwise known as Jurassic Park Kid.
The Jurassic Park boy, yes.
Jurassic Park boy. He turns an age. He has a birthday, and they're gonna celebrate. They're gonna go down the river. Meryl used to be a river guide, a rapids. Particularly rapid.
She's from Idaho.
What's called whitewater rafting. Jesus, that was the word I'm looking for.
Boston, but she's originally from this area in Idaho, where the Salmon River is supposed to be the Salmon River.
The Idaho. And, they're gonna go rafting down there. I was struggling really hard to find the word for raft.
Oh.
This is what happens when you have one can of Diet Coke after having, like, a case for 3 decades.
Wow.
That's not true, everybody. I'm not that bad off.
A case a day for 3
Jesus
decades.
Christ.
Wow.
I'm not Donald Trump.
Since I was 2 years old, I've been on the diet.
I came out the womb getting IVs of Diet Coke. But the problem with poor Gail is her and her husband Tom, played by David Strathairn. We've talked many times about good old David Strathairn. I really enjoy him
and feel like he is underrated because he is really good, but he just doesn't have a lot of big prominent roles. But I just really enjoy him as an actor. I think he has more.
Here he's a very big prominent male.
Well, that's right. He is the geeky hero of the story. And honestly, there's some times that I really appreciate Tom in this movie, and there's other times where I'm like, God damn it, Tom. Most of the goddamn it, Tom, is towards the beginning because he's supposed to be going on this trip to celebrate their son's birthday, and he's like, "No, I'm not going. I gotta work." And she's like, "Come on, dude, your son is gonna hate you forever." And they leave, and they're about to get going, and just after they meet the other people of the story, Tom comes in and he's like, "Is there still room in the boat? I brought my laptop."
It's in a plastic bag. I remember a time when I was around the age of Rourke, and my dad promised that we were going to go see the cows at the barn down this road. And I, being a kid, was very excited, so excited that I fell asleep and took a nap. And when I woke up, my dad had already taken my brother down to look at the cows in the barn, and that's where they were at as I woke up. And Mom was like, "They already left. You overslept." And I was traumatized. So imagine how poor Rourke feels with his dad not wanting to go whitewater rafting. Why? That is so, honestly, without...
Water rafting. Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, when you're just, like, getting into a brainless ramble, that is, like, a hard thing to stumble upon, whitewater rafting.
Yeah,
like,
that's a good mush of words right there. You're right.
If you ever want to know how this podcast is done, basically I reach into my brain and I turn off everything.
Go into the Mind Palace and turn off everything except for the River Wild, and then just go.
and then as I'm rambling, I'm just opening doors wildly. I'm just finding so many tangents, and I'm just like, "Ooh, piece of candy. Let's talk about this." Oh, David Strahan. Ooh.
There's a violinist that's in the cast. I don't remember that.
Yeah, don't you remember when they're going down the river and they like go around the bend and there's just one violinist in a kayak just.
I don't remember that at all. That's not true. Anyhow, they meet.
No, before they get on the river, they meet Kevin Bacon.
Yep.
Here playing Wade. Get it? Because they're in the water. Wade.
Oh, I get it. Yep. And her name is Gail.
Yep. And her name is Gail. They really thought very hard. And his name
is Tom.
His name's Tom. Exactly. Rourke, I'm sure that's a fishy term. Wade, Kevin Bacon, he's kind of a little creepy at first. You know, he's kind of, I mean, he's pretty much just the handsome man.
He's really into Gail, though. It's very obvious.
You kind of get the idea that this movie could go off in the tangent of, like, romantic tryst.
Yeah.
Like, she goes off with her son to whitewater raft while her husband is busy with work, and then she falls in love with Kevin Bacon while they're going down the river together. Like, that's kind of how this movie opens up, is you're just like, am I in the right movie theater? Is this an action film, or is this going to be a rom-com? Because he just seems like a normal dude.
They can have, it could be an adventure movie, and there has to be romance in an adventure movie. Wade is not alone.
Along with Wade is his... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's with his best friend Terry, played by John C. Reilly. They have...
another guy, Frank.
Possibly ill.
Willie Lucking.
Frank.
William Lucking.
Willie Lucky.
I don't know him. But he doesn't really have any lines in the movie anyways.
No.
Yeah.
They quickly bury him under some gravel rocks and everything.
No, he walked off.
Within like 20 minutes.
He walked off.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. He got mad at them.
But he was the guide.
He just left, you know. He was the guide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because
so now
of
poor
that,
Wade and Terry are lost on the rapids without a guide.
Yeah. They don't know nothing. They don't even know... Well, Wade doesn't even know how to swim. And he's the brains of the operation.
He's an idiot. He's a dumbass. Yeah, let's talk about the operation. Okay, jokes aside, not even jokes aside, lollygagging aside, Wade and Terry just robbed some shit.
Yeah, they did.
And they killed a guy when they were in the process of robbing, I think.
It was a cattle drive. And their funny thing is that Meryl laughs about it because she overhears it on the radio.
Yeah.
And she's like, my dad's been saying they'd get robbed for years. And it finally happened.
They finally did.
And
and
Kevin's just like,
Yeah. You like robbers, huh?
Teach me how to swim. He doesn't learn how to swim.
No.
Eventually, he starts playing Rourke against his parents to be with Gale as their guide longer, because they're catching on at least that they're no good. And there's been some big confrontations between Tom and Wade, and that's the parts where I respected Tom. At one point, Wade and Terry dump their raft, and that's when you find out he can't swim, is when Tom swims out to try to save him, and he just keeps on pulling Tom down, and the only thing that Tom can think to do to get him to stop, because he's not listening, is to punch him, and he punches him, and during the shock, he's able to grab him and swim him ashore, and later, Wade thanks him, and he's like, "But you didn't have to hit me." And Tom's like, but I did. I love that part.
That does bring up a question I've always had. This happens a lot in movies. When you're underwater, is a punch really going to knock a man out?
It didn't knock him out, though. But it can hurt.
Have you tried, like... I cannot move fast enough underwater to punch somebody with any kind of power.
Well, we grew up in a situation where we had a swimming pool with children between the age of 7 and 13 in it at all times, and they would fight.
New listeners are like, what the fuck? Are you just kidnapping kids?
No, so my mother ran a daycare. Thank you. Yes, I will put a little more explanation into that. My mother ran a daycare, and during the summers, we would have a pretty packed swimming pool of kids just horsing around, having a good time. And I will tell you from experience, between at least my brother and my cousin Jillian and I, you can punch pretty hard underwater.
All right, that's fair.
But no, it's definitely not like getting hit outside of the water. It's very cushioned.
No. Well, I was going to say, there's also different factors, too, because yours was a still water.
It's true.
I'm sure kids splashing around and everything, but there's not enough current compared to the rapids that they were in.
True.
There's so many factors where when he punches him, I'm just like, I don't know if that would really do anything to me. I feel like if I couldn't swim and I'm flailing and a guy punches me underwater, I'm just gonna be like, just drag him down faster.
They come up with a plan to get away from him. And they find out that he has a gun, and so they end up, being his hostage. Not that they weren't already. Like I said, they come up with a plan.
The family basically gets split up.
Right.
And they're all trying to survive in different ways.
Right.
Let's say.
Tom is following them, trying to find a way to get his family away from... Away? Anyways. God damn it.
I'm making you question everything we say.
I said ways 6 times.
I know. No, it's totally fine. And his name is Wade. No!
There's a violinist!
Don't forget Policeman. Let's quickly talk about Gale, too, because...
it is Meryl's movie, isn't it?
Gale as a mother is incredible. She does everything to protect her kid.
Oh yeah,
she's such a badass throughout this whole movie. You also understand where she's coming from. You can understand her family woes, if you will, her issues with her husband.
Yeah,
because they're having marital issues, but not
they're not out of
high
love.
Tier.
They're not out of love. She just doesn't understand why he's putting so much more effort into work than the family.
Yes. Yeah. Which happens, I think, with pretty much every couple. There comes a point where it's just all right, you're focusing a little too much on something that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Bring your attention back to us where it actually matters.
Right.
I love the way that, you can see that through Gail. You can see, through Meryl specifically, through her acting. You can see that Gail, even though she is suffering those normal day stress of a 30-year-old, 40-year-old in a family, which I'm not even in a family, but being in your middle age, like 30s and 40s, that's some difficult shit daily. Like, just getting through days every single day, trying to quit Diet Coke.
Having
like,
kids, and then they have kids. Oh, man.
And then they have kids. And then you gotta go whitewater rafting with one of the kids. Like, god damn. Yeah. But that's really the fun, though, is watching her in her element when she is whitewater rafting.
Right.
Because she's calm, collected, having a goddamn blast, even when they're about to hit a fucking rock.
She seems like she belongs, for sure. And that's one of her great talents, I think. Meryl's great talents is that she is able to fit into the setting. Even sometimes to the point where she makes the other characters seem out of place, which is fine with this particular movie because nobody else knows how to whitewater raft.
yeah. It honestly makes me wonder how often she went whitewater rafting to prepare for the role.
Sure, I don't know if it's something that she would have done when she was younger.
It's like,
because that wasn't covered in my course.
Right. There was a part in the movie where I think it was John C. Reilly as Terry was paddling the boat, and he was just paddling very just wrong. He was just doing a technique that is just not at all appropriate for paddling. Yeah. And I was dying. I'm like, did nobody really see him doing that and think that shouldn't be in the movie? But at the same time, it makes sense because they don't know what they're doing.
Right.
They're not rafters,
It was pretty funny.
Not that I'm a rafter either. I can't question anybody's technique, but
his was obviously not doing anything.
His was obviously wrong. But I could also say though that practically watching from a practical effect, watching Meryl do this whitewater, I'm sure there were stunt doubles.
Even when she was a white man in a wig, yeah. For sure.
Yeah, there was that one time that was definitely not her. But for all the close-ups and everything, she pulled it off really well. Yeah. She looked like she was in her element. She was having a damn good time.
And they set it up really well, too, in that opening scene where she's kayaking. Like, she gets up early in the morning to row, and then makes breakfast for her kids. Badass!
Oh, yeah. That sounds like the life, baby.
Well, let's do closing statements on this.
Yeah. So here's the biggest issue with it all. Wade and Terry's plan here. They're going to rob a cattle ranch or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, they're dumb.
And then they're going to escape down the river, this wild-ass river with crazy rapids. It's really hard to survive. I understand that Frank was their guide and everything. Right. But, why take that route?
Yeah.
It's supposedly faster. They're supposed to get further away faster, I guess. But here's the thing. Tom gets separated from the family. Uh-huh. He climbs up a mountain or a cliffside, and he proceeds to follow them on foot all the way down the river. No issue. Just hike. Just fucking hike. I don't understand what the point of the rapids was at all.
Tom definitely shows that they have rock climbing skills. And
and I'm not denying that. I'm just saying that
if Wade can't swim...
I'm just saying, that's the biggest flaw of this entire movie.
Their plan is dumb.
Why in the fuck were they on the rapids in the goddamn first place? Yeah. Like, that's just stupid.
Unless Frank had much more of a role in the planning of it, it's like, I can definitely get us down this river, and we'll have some sleek, fast cars down at the park down there waiting for us. And I don't know. And we'll split our separate ways. It's a dumb idea. It's really dumb.
It's a dumb idea. But ignoring it, looking past it, I think it's a good family film.
Yeah.
In regards to both in family as a family can watch it. It's a fun action film for a family to watch. And it's a good film depicting a family with mild issues that overcome their issues and grow closer. I like that story. I love Meryl Streep in the lead role. I think she does just an absolutely stellar job in an action film. It's really fun. You really feel for her
I'd like
predicament.
to see her in more action films. I don't
Yeah, I
feel
know.
like that's very...
I'm really happy they chose this one. Yeah. Specifically for that reason. She does very few physically action-heavy films that, I'm glad that...
well, it's basically this and Mamma Mia.
Yeah, all the fighting in Mamma Mia.
Well, I don't know about fighting, but there sure are a lot of kicks. Hey!
Oh my goodness. But no, I really like her. I feel like we spent a lot of time talking about Tom, sadly.
We did. I didn't mean to. Maybe I'll cut some of that.
Yeah. That's your white male for you right there.
Yeah.
But no, I think for a film, ignoring the big plot hole that I have with it, I think it is a really well thought out, well acted and directed film, and I do give it 4 stars out of 5. Regarding Meryl's performance, of like looking at her whole career, in my opinion, I mean, I know I watched this one a lot as a kid, so it's like I am biased, but this is honestly one of her better performances because she's just so in command throughout.
It's I will even say though she's a hostage on the river.
Yeah. Even though she's a hostage on the river, she's so in command of this movie and this whole situation. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah. I agree with you that it is a very strong performance, but there's some films that I've seen with her. Character work is so layered and complex that
that's fair.
I just feel that would be hard to put this up there with those roles, but
I would say top 10 though.
It's really good. I wouldn't want to put a list down right now because I wasn't thinking about that. But
because you're a coward.
It is a good film. I've never seen it before, and however, it is a very predictable film. I knew basically everything that was going to happen before it did, and that's not necessarily a bad thing because I still enjoyed watching the film. We got to watch this one together, and we had fun.
Oh, yeah,
but sure. Yeah, I'll give it a full face. It's a fun movie, and I do recommend it, especially if you haven't seen it. Really beautiful shots of not Idaho. I believe they shot in California and in Colorado. Montana. Yeah.
Montana. I'm happy you mentioned that though, because I was shocked when as we were watching it. I called it out because it was like cinematography by Robert Elswit, and I was like, I know that name. Why do I know that name? And it's Paul Thomas Anderson's cinematography. Really? He did like There Will Be Blood, and I think even Punch Drunk Love, like some other Paul Thomas Anderson films.
Cool.
But it was so funny. I was just like, why do I know that name? And it's just like, oh my god, his filmography has to be hilarious. It's like The River Wild. There Will Be Blood.
I think we're done with this film. Just to pop back to talk about Meryl one more time before we go to soda pop break. It is a very strong performance. Thank you for recommending this one, because I don't think if I were to make a spotlight of her that this would have made it. So thank you, Doma. We will be back from a soda pop break in a moment. Yes. Or a late coffee night break.
I love you.
We're back. Right?
We're back.
Here we go. Yep. Hello. I guess.
I'm wearing cashmere.
Are you?
And it's not, no. I'm wearing cheap sweater and cheap leggings.
Well, we both have turtle shell eyeglasses.
That's true.
Yeah. And somebody...
And a sponsorship from Prada. Ladies and gentlemen, are you looking for clothes that fit you? We don't have a sponsorship from Prada. I'm just fucking kidding.
No. What was that one that tried to get lifted off the ground a couple years ago? The Real. That company that you could buy slightly used high fashion items.
Oh, Temu.
No, but it's called the Real for real.
The Real for real.
Yeah, well, the last part I added. But anyhow, They were just like, you could get Gucci and, Versace and all sorts of stuff and Coach and whatever.
Ross for less.
But for less, it's still an outstanding amount of money.
Yeah. Oh my God. Just an aside, the amount of people who come into my place of business and tell me that they got hacked, and then are like, I don't understand how I got hacked. I've gone to such reputable websites as Amazon and Temu.
Temu.
And I'm just like, you're fucking kidding me.
Yeah.
Like,
got by Temu.
I figured out how you got hacked, idiot. Oh my God. I want to go hermit away in the woods. Can't deal with these idiots anymore.
Well, anyhow, somebody who is not an idiot is Miranda Priestley.
I don't know.
Well, she's not an idiot. You can't be an idiot and be as manipulative as she is. I'm just saying.
Elon Musk.
Hey, you know what? I don't know if idiot's appropriate. He does some dumb things. That's for damn sure.
Here's my thought process. You can be an idiot and have intelligence.
Okay.
I'm not saying Miranda Priestley is an idiot. She's not really an idiot.
No. Well, she's an asshole. She's
an absolute C.
Asshole.
Other letters T. Yeah.
And Anne Hathaway starts out as a journalist looking for a job, and she loves to wear sweaters over button-up shirts, maybe even ones that have the collar sewn into the sweater. And her name is Andrea Sachs. And yeah, she gets I went with the nickname first, okay?
I was like, her nickname's longer than her real name. Oh, I love it.
Anyhow, Andy lands this assistant job with being Miranda Priestley's assistant. The only reason why Miranda hires her is because she's unlike any of the other girls that she's been hiring lately and has been really hating working with.
Yeah. Andy's very closed off to the entire fashion industry. She doesn't really know Miranda. She doesn't know this magazine at all.
No, and a lot of people are mad at her that work within the magazine for landing this job that over and over again they let us know 1,000 girls would kill for. 1 million, maybe. I don't remember. Something like that.
100% scientifically accurate.
Yes. Yes. Emily Blunt is in this, and we just kind of realized
surprisingly
earlier. She plays Emily Carlton, same name even, Jesus. And we still didn't. It just went whoosh. It's because she's a redhead. Like, when is she a redhead?
Yeah, we're gingerist here at Green and Faceless on the couch.
You have very nice auburn hair right now.
I know. I love gingers, but I'm just saying that's why we overlooked her, because we just saw red hair and we were just like, blank face, it's a ginger.
So she helps Andy get the job. Another person I think is worth mentioning before we go more into Miranda Priestley is Nigel Kipling, and that's a dear friend of Miranda, supposedly. Someone who helps put the magazine together, played by Stanley Tucci, the greatest.
Oh, I love Stanley. He's a wonderful man.
He is. Quite fun. And yeah,
and quite handsome, too.
He is. While Andy is working for Miranda's abuse, which Meryl is really good at doing the not so passive aggressive thing. It's really good.
She's good at impassive passive aggression.
Yes.
It's like she's very direct with her insults, but they're so subtly delivered that it's just like,
what?
Am I supposed to be like incredibly hurt by that, or just moderately miffed? I don't know. All I know is that my ego is shattered.
My ego is shattered, and she breaks down Andy. Andy becomes a fashionista, to fit in to an extent, but then she finds out that, she likes it. Like, she understands it a little bit. Yes, it's definitely Stockholm Syndrome. And Miranda, just keeps on giving her more and more responsibility. In fact, she eventually outweighs Emily in the eyes of Miranda. In fact, she would refer to Andy as Emily over and over again.
Yeah.
Until she decided that she could be her own person, I guess.
Yeah. Till she proved herself as worthy of having her own name.
Yeah.
Of being remembered. Yeah, it's a very fascinating view. Mm-hmm. It's a very fun and quick story, honestly. Like, because it's like what is it? It's
we
not
just
an
get
hour
a
and
lot
half. It's more
less
than an hour and a half
of Meryl.
Yeah, it's an hour
in
and 49.
Than we do in The River Wild.
Yeah. But it's so fast paced, and that it just feels filled up. If that makes sense, because it's just under 2 hours, but it's just it's I don't know. There's a lot of
a lot honestly happens.
Yeah, there's a lot of of montagey scenes and stuff, getting through as Andy develops into kind of a bitter shrew after a while.
And she's hungry, Greg. Okay.
She wants that power. That power.
And literally has not been eating for days.
It is kind of like a clash of wits, though, because it's it is kind of like Miranda's, her willpower, her persona in general, her steely persona. And then you just have Andy's flowery, joyous lifestyle that's trying to just thrive under her shadow.
I think what Meryl and Anne Hathaway do really well in this film is to see the actual humanity in Miranda. And she abuses Andy so much, and then Andy's able to sit there and help her talk through the fact that she's going through a divorce. She's basically like the Tom in this storyline, but she's not going to give up working as hard as she can all the time. And
that's the thing is Miranda's worked so hard to get where she's at.
Yeah.
And she is not going to give it up.
And she shouldn't. And,
or should
that does become part of...
That's the message of the movie.
Yes. There comes a time where you have enough accolades and you should step back. And maybe Miranda has come to that point. Because she does really backstab her friends in order to stay at the top, and to keep her rival, Jacqueline Follet, from taking her job.
Jacqueline.
For being, the rival, she hardly has any lines, but it's just so funny.
Oh yeah, I don't even remember her.
Andy brings up Jacqueline and she's like, Emily says, don't do this. Don't talk about Jacqueline. And I just think it's so funny how their rivalry is hyped up and then there's really nothing to it. Besides the fact
that's
she
honestly
okay,
so that's the problem with this movie. I'm going to be honest. And this is a little taboo, because everybody loves this movie far more than they probably even know anything about The River Wild.
Oh, yeah.
But for the most part, even though this is a great movie, it's honestly so boring to me.
Yeah.
Because it's just a battle of wits, which is very fascinating. I do love the battle of wits. But nothing really seems to come from it after a while. It just kind of just keeps going. And it's just
there's
kind of
a point where
it just keeps...
what should be the climax becomes monotony. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you're kind of left wondering, well, when is the big moment going to happen between these two? And, it's honestly not really a big moment. It's kind of just like something happens and you're just like, yeah.
I mean, it made sense. Yeah. It made sense for Andy. Like, it was like a real life situation. Like, not everything blows up sometimes. Sometimes you're just like, my job is really toxic. And I don't need this.
Yeah.
And you leave.
Exactly. Once she realizes that she's becoming her boss, it's a really important moment for Andy. And I'll be honest, I've been there. I have been under a toxic management where my very persona, my emotions, everything were driven by work.
Yeah.
And how I felt I was viewed by the management. And so it's like, it's awful.
Yeah.
It's not a good environment for anybody.
No.
And watching Andy kind of succumb to that and just start to flourish under it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of a hard message to deliver. And it's the same thing with Miranda. Miranda is, she is this powerful woman. She has worked very hard to get where she's at. And I respect the hell out of that. Right. And I respect the hell out of her character, out of her steely nature, how she takes no shit from anyone. Like, I love all of that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she goes home at nights, has a glass of wine by herself. That's not what I want.
Ignores her twin daughters.
Yeah. Jesus. No, it's like we don't see much of her personal life, and that's kind of for the best for this character. Like, you want to keep the
mystique,
the viewpoint on. Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, she's going through a divorce. Things aren't like the best at home. She does seem to spend most of her time at work, where she's just kind of treating everybody else like they're trash. I don't know. There's so many like differences where I was just like, I keep bouncing back and forth. But for the most part, it just kind of leaves a icky feeling in my mouth. This movie does, because even though I love it, it just reminds me of a time of my life that I don't want to go back to, when I was working under management that I felt was very toxic and disgusting. And yeah,
I get that. What do you rate the film then?
If we were to go to that part, I would still give it a solid 3.5. It is a very good film. It's one of those films where it's like, after about an hour, even though it's moving very fast, and I do enjoy the pace and the directing, the acting, everything that's coming out of it. After about an hour, though, I'm still kind of just like, oh, I need to get out of here. It's starting to give me like the itches, the under the skin itches.
I get it. Yeah. It's not really my favorite either, and definitely at the time that it came out, very early high school, maybe middle school, I wouldn't have gone to go see this movie. I would have no interest. I was very much, if it doesn't have to do with Transformers, I don't care. No. I was just into the geek sci-fi movies, and I'd watched the action films too, and the comedies, until I thought that they were so dumb that I couldn't do it anymore. This one I didn't watch until much later, and I was like, hey, that was actually a pretty good movie, because a lot of things that I subconsciously lumped into that pseudonym that we call them chick flicks, but really it's just a whole bunch of different genres of film that happen to be
teenage
more
rom-coms.
There's a feminine aspect to it for some reason that puts guys off, or at least it's advertised that way. And I don't know, maybe that's the problem.
Pink hearts, frilly edges.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen this movie for that reason, that's a piss poor reason not to see a movie. That's just what I'm getting at. And this is a good movie. Once again, it's not my favorite, but that is because I think Meryl does a lot better in a lot of other movies. Is it the 4 syllables and because?
Yeah, it's just like you're like, and that is because, and like I could just see behind your brain, oh shit, I couldn't remember the reason. Why did I say because?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, anyhow, it gets a full face. I honestly don't think it's anything super special from the era.
No.
But Meryl Streep is very good in it. To go back
she
to
really
her,
is.
It is a strong character and a character that she doesn't play all the time. And in fact, after she became a certain age, shortly after either her first or second Oscar win, I can't recall, she started receiving casting invitations or auditions, however they phrase it, to be witches and grandmothers and stuff. And this one I feel like is kind of in that same category of the trope that older women are only allowed to be powerful if they're mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's very fair. That's a good actual, good viewpoint there. Even though it's not in that supernatural, like, witchy light, she very much is kind of like a wicked witch.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, they might even reference her as a witch at some point, but
maybe it's implanted.
Yeah, maybe it's just my brain. But anyhow, that being said, Miranda Priestley is still a strong character, and and she has flaws, like people should. Female lead. And I think that they explain her bitterness, and at least enough, show that she goes through trials like everybody else. And so I think that really makes up a lot for it still being that archetype of character. It's a full face movie, good performance. Both of them are good performances. If we're going to say,
I think they're very even performances too. It's kind of hard for me to determine which one. Even though I like The River Wild as a movie more. I'm kind of turning this into a battle. If Miranda Priestley were to go up against Gail, and I think it's very obvious that Gail would win that.
Oh yeah, a physical battle, sure. But
she's younger, she's fiercer.
Gail were to go up against Miranda in a fashion competition, though.
Oh, dude. I mean, if it was a fashion competition, sure. But if she was just to get hired as the assistant, if Gail were to become Miranda's assistant, Gail would have shoved her out of that skyscraper so fucking fast. Like, she would not have put up with that shit.
I like Gail more than Miranda, too. But, she's supposed to be a likable character.
She is lucky. Yeah, that's very fair. Yeah.
Though I'm still
choosing.
I like
the
that.
River Wild. I think. Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think she was more in command in that movie. I think.
And they're both
overall, not just.
And both of these characters are commanding characters. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The way
with The Devil Wears Prada, Meryl
Streep
is definitely sharing the screen with Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
Whereas The River Wild, you're kind of like, even though Kevin Bacon's there, you're kind of just strapped on Meryl. Like, you're just like, fuck yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah. I do like that the River Wild is more focused on her. And honestly, I do think, like you said, they're pretty even performances. However, I do think that Gail is a stronger performance. And, it's earlier in her career as well. Those first 15 years of her career were amazing. So I just, and I feel like at this point in 2006, Meryl could get any job that she wanted. Any job.
Oh yeah.
And she saw something in this Miranda Priestley character, I'm sure. And it was a great movie, and a great movie for her career too. But this, in River Wild, that's classic Meryl right there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It also it just feels a bit more of a riskier role, even though, there's just something so flashy and budgety about Devil Wears Prada, whereas it's like...
For sure. And there should be,
River
because
Wild,
it's about Prada.
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, it's like River Wild. It's just kind of like, all right, we're going camping, we're going whitewater rafting. Like, you strap the camera on and hope it don't get wet. Like, here we go.
And the laptop. So,
and the laptop.
I think that's been the show. Yeah, don't strap the dog in. They won't like that.
Don't do that. Thanks for watching, everybody. And by watching, I mean listening.
Yes.
I'm the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
And I am the Faceless Leon. Don't forget to have your nightly cap of coffee. Safe travels.
You were gonna say don't. I thought you were gonna say don't forget to get your dogs and cats spayed.
Don't forget that either. Safe travels and good nights. Wait, did we say the Faceless Leon and Green Traveler yet?
Green and Faceless on the Couch is a proud production of FictionWorks 19. Are you a fan of the show? Feel free to contact us at greenandfacelessfans@gmail.com or visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/greenandfaceless. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, or rate us on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for listening.